Hey guys, welcome to the stream space. Welcome back if you've been here before. Okay, so it's been a while since our last video, but don't worry, we're not forgetting about you guys. We're starting to get into, running our streams again, so like we've got some parts for Star Wars Outlaws and stuff to play. Um Things have been a little bit weird for me. My business has finally signed its first like real client, so like we've been super busy with that. But I don't want to forget about the channel, and I'm not going to forget about the channel. I just want to be really, really clear about that. But also, some of the news has been kind of a bummer, and it's been like I try to feel happy about something, and then some stupid announcement gets made, and I'm gonna say it for this episode. Like these episodes that I even do, how would they be possible in the future that we're talking about here? Okay, so you probably pieced together. I'm talking about Sony's announcement to kill physical discs. If everyone were to follow their lead, how could I do a gaming pickup video? I mean, outside of retro stuff, there would be no new games in my roster that I show you guys and we talk about. Not at all. That's so fucking boring. Pardon my fucking language, man. God damn it. So anyways, we do have a roster of games to go over, but I wanted to preface this with obviously, if I do these videos, I am a physical game supporter. I support you owning your stuff. If you go give money to Sony for a game on their marketplace, I don't care what platform it is on, it belongs to you, or at least you are entitled to a copy of that game. You are allowed to download it and play it, and under no circumstances will that be taken away from you. The movies. I mean, that's harder because licensing runs out. That's why I don't rely on anything on Netflix, Paramount, or any of those. I don't rely on those as the way to watch those things because I know that as soon as, Sony and them decides, hey, we don't want Netflix to have our movie, they don't get your movie. That's it. It's the end of it. It gets reverted. It's the biggest difference is that having Blu-rays, like owning actual games and movies, at least you have something to hold in your hand and say, no, a piece of this belongs to me. I don't own the right to redistribute it. I don't own the right to make money off of their product in that way. If I pay some money, I can probably sell it to get some money back. But anyways, I'm passionate about this one, and I don't give a fuck if it's been 80% of sales have been digital. I don't fucking care. I want to own my game. I want to go to the store, give the EB Games employee my card or whatever. They'll get the disc, they'll put it in the box, they'll give me the fucking box. I got the disc, I got the box, I'm happy. Right? I am happy because I own that thing. We've been doing these videos for about 3 or 4 years now. And I mean, actually, maybe 2. I think it's been about 2 years since we started the gaming pickup stuff. But like, this wouldn't exist without physical games because we don't really showcase our digital stuff. What's the point in that? Nobody cares about my Steam library. I barely care about my Steam library. I'm not a PC gamer. I never have been. Like, and it's so annoying that Nintendo, even with game key cards, could still win this fucking war. Especially if like Sony says I'm going all digital, PC's like I'm already all digital, Xbox is like we got a disc drive, and Nintendo Switch is like I mean we got a mix of game key cards and actual physical games. I mean take your pick. I feel like they're like it's so annoying that they of all companies are the advocates for choice. That's not your console, you're just leasing it. People. Like, fuck. Anyways, let's do something a little more positive, a little more fun. Let's open some... We're not opening them. We might open them later, but we're not opening them. We gotta grab one off of the shelf or else it's gonna get missed. Nope. Is it already in the pile? No. Okay, 2 seconds. Almost knocking my PS collection open. Okay, so we recently retired our PS5. We had a standard PS5. We basically retired that to our room. And now our PS5 Pro is the primary game console down here. So we figured to take advantage of the expanded storage space that it has, and we loaded it with so many physical games. We have even to this day, we don't really buy digital, and I could have bought digital to play Halo Campaign Evolved. I didn't. I waited till I could go into a store and buy a goddamn disc. That's what we should all be trying to keep alive. That feeling of going in, buying something you want, and leaving with it. And then I don't know. Anyways, let's dive in. We got a pile of games, and I'm excited to share some of them with you because some of them I didn't know got physical releases, but others I got really good deals on them. Okay, so first thing we're gonna start with, speaking of Halo, I'm gonna bring this a little closer into frame. Halo Campaign Involved. If you are a Halo fan, now there's been a lot of discourse online saying, "Oh, it doesn't have multiplayer. It's trash." It is not. They have done something pretty cool with this. They have given us a game where they've kind of they found a way to revamp this game, build it from the ground up, make it feel like an entirely new game in so many ways, but then feel still familiar in all the ways that matter. So, like, increased weapon roster. So you get there's different guns that are now available to you as opposed to the standard roster from the original game and Anniversary Edition. Excuse me. I don't know why. I always get yawning when I do this. I don't know why. But like you can get the submachine gun, the sword, the battle rifle. There's some extra missions which I still haven't played yet, but I'm going to, and we're probably even going to do a stream playing this game, maybe as a start to finish kind of thing. Moving on. So we got this one from Best Buy. Sometimes I do go to the big box. I try not to. I prefer to support like super local, non-corporate slop. But, you know, we got a good deal on it. And it was available on the day that it came out. I didn't have to wait an extra day or try and hunt it down on Marketplace or anything like that. Next up, and this one I'm really excited about because I was trying really hard to find a version of this game that was, you know, physical, but also not the basic edition. We got the limited run games version of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game. This is the complete edition, and I don't even know necessarily what that means, but it's a limited run games card, and if you can tell, it is still sealed. This is for the Nintendo Switch. I found this on Marketplace. I love Scott Pilgrim. It's probably one of my favorite movies. Just the way the humor hits, the relatability of the character, seeing him go through his little journey of trying to mature and become accountable for the decisions that he makes and stuff, while he's all pursuing this girl who he really likes and doesn't want to lose, but also is mature enough to let her go if he has to. Not necessarily because he wants to. Anyways, moving on. So we took a little trip to one of the places I go to. It's a pawn shop. It's not actually a video game store, but we found a couple PS Vita hard copies, and I'm gonna tell you, most of my Vita collection is digital. And I'm working on changing that because, especially with Sony's thing, it's like I don't want my Vita to become completely unplayable because they decide I shouldn't have those games in my library, right? So we got a physical copy of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Now, it's kind of a Smash Bros. Clone. It's fun, but it was definitely kind of like you really experience the whole game within the first half an hour. But you could create some really funny fights, and the levels actually had some pretty interesting design to them. I mean, seeing Nathan Drake beat the ever living hell out of Kratos is kind of funny, even if it's probably impossible. I mean, the funny part is this isn't even the real case for the game, and here's what gives it away. Right here, it says available, and then its release date, which was on this case, November 20th, 2012, which is really funny to me. That's comical. 2012 was a terrible fucking year. It was a bad year. The year before, not so bad. 2011 was kind of cool. I mean, you had Skyrim's release. It was the only time we ever got a game released on 11/11/11. So, continuing on, so that's PlayStation All Stars. We found that at what's called the Buy and Sell Store. That's another, it's a local pawn shop slash, I mean, used stuff store, I want to call it. A pawn shop sounds dirty. This place is clean. They verify a lot of their stuff. They give their stuff warranties. It's actually really a pretty cool place to buy stuff from. I can go there for tablets and other things or stuff for my clients. Like if they're looking for a specific game, I usually say, hey guys, you guys got this? And, you know, they'll hook me up if they can. The next up is still from them. So this is another game from them. I mean, it's in the official case this time. And that is Persona 4 Golden, one of the best RPGs of its era, and I already own it in digital, but again, I want to own it physical. Plus, I can free up memory card space if I actually use the cartridge to play the game instead. So, that's kind of cool. So, those are from the Buy and Sell store, and we're going to continue what we're doing here because the next one is also from the Buy and Sell store. We found a copy of Forza Horizon 5. I am into the Horizon games because I'm working on 4 right now. I already finished 3 and I would like to finish 4 and then move on. And I've done a little bit with 6. I will actually be doing some streaming on that so we can, you know, just hang out one night and you guys can see what I've done in it. But when I play Forza Horizon 5, maybe I'll just bring you guys in from start to finish because the first couple times I tried to play a Horizon game, they didn't feel like they had an actual ending, and that actually really annoyed me. So I stopped playing them. So I stopped playing 4. But then I actually played 3. Sorry, I think it was 2. I played 2 from start to finish, and then I found 3. And I haven't dove into it yet because I was already playing 4 from years ago. My grandfather gave me the game. He found a duffel bag full of games at an abandoned house. And this is something that my grandfather does. It's a little weird, but honestly, I get free stuff out of it quite frequently. We got a whole Nintendo Wii U bundle, like that, like it's fully functional. Everything on it works. I've gotten like high-end GameCube games like Super Mario Sunshine or Twilight Princess. So just saying. So once again, Buy and Sell store. It's the Xbox One / Series X combo. The racing scene for video games is basically dead in the water, especially with EA announcing that they are no longer allowing Criterion to work on racing games. And so basically Need for Speed, one of the series that really got me into racing games, is basically dead, and I can't fathom that. That really fucking annoys me. I love racing games. I love the feeling you get when you can win against, especially for some of the more difficult AI. Like I play Forza Horizon 6 with a lot of the handicaps turned off, and I allow the all the different I allow the Drivatar difficulty to sit at average or above. You know, I want it to be a challenge. Let's have some fun. At least make it a challenge for me, as Thor would say. So, moving on, we found some cool DS games. I actually hate that they actually wrote on the fucking case for this. So this is from a company called Level Up. This is another local store for me. So Buy and Sell store is local. Level Up is local. I like these smaller ones, right? Buy and Sell might actually even have a network across Canada, but as far as like what I've encountered, it's the only one I've seen that quite handles video games the way that they do. Because not only like when you walk in on this side, you have the glass cabinets that are locked with all the different platforms, like and very clean looking displays, and then on the left they have the more budget games that are like they're like $3 to $5. They don't charge a lot for them, but you know, if you're collecting and you're missing a few things, like the more common titles. So anyways, the game is Bleach, keep doing that. Bleach: The Blade of Fate. So this game it's a fighting game. So it's an anime fighting game set in the Bleach universe. Um I never even knew it existed, and I love collecting like DS level, like DS era anime games like Naruto, Ninja Council or what was it called? I think it's Ninja Council Destiny, which is it's basically like the GameCube games, Naruto Ninja Council 1 and 2, and I love those games. I love them. Clash of Ninja is, I think, what it might be called, actually. Point is, like, I would play as Haku, and I would just, people would go to attack me, and I was so good at the substitute timing that, they'd hit me once, and then they'd hit me a second time for their, whatever their combo is, but then I'd fucking fly around them and then pound them into the ground. They didn't even get a chance, but I love anime level like fighting games from that era. They were so cool, and I loved some of the other ones they would put out, like the RPGs. Like Inuyasha had two. They had Feudal Combat, and then they had the Cursed Mask, Secrets of the Cursed Mask, I believe it was. So that was a chibi-fied like JRPG, which was a lot of fun. I loved that game. I love JRPGs. It's actually one of my favorite genres. So that's for the Nintendo DS. That's from Level Up. They wrote on the actual case, and that annoys me. I may try to use the dry erase trick to get that off of there, because Jesus Christ, guys, don't do that. Continuing with our Level Up finds, we actually found a copy of Rune Factory 4. Now, I own Rune Factory 4 Special on PC, but there's something about collecting the real ones, like the original games, that's just so cool. And it's a 3DS game. I don't get to add 3DS games to my roster very often. I didn't buy a lot of digital, but there also wasn't a lot of 3DS games worth buying. If it wasn't Pokemon or Zelda, I don't know if I ever bothered to really own it. Like Smash Bros, Fire Emblem Warriors, those were all pretty good. Hyrule Warriors. Like, it was such a capable little system, and I'm so sad that we kind of like, we abandoned those systems for like the Switch and stuff, because like, the Switch just feels really corporate to me, in my opinion. Continuing on, I keep doing that, like you can see it, and that's because my camera window is on that side. We got a new Harvest Moon game called Home Sweet Home. I mean, I think it's a couple years old. Technically, we bought it for the fiance, but it's worth a mention when you get to pick up something from the classic series. My fiance's opinion on it is it's kind of soulless. It's a little boring compared to other Harvest Moon games. Like, there's the PS2 and GameCube era of Harvest Moon games that it just seems impossible to give you that vibe again. It's just not working out. That was a Walmart find, but it's still, like, we found it for a really good price, because this still goes for like 50 or 60 bucks. We found it for like 32 on sale. Next up is Yu-Gi-Oh! The Early Days Collection, including the Harpy's Feather Duster card. I really pushed to get that Feather Duster card. It's a compilation game, so it actually includes Yu-Gi-Oh! Games I didn't even know existed that will go back as far as the original Game Boy, and I mean, playing like the basic ass model of Yu-Gi-Oh! On the Game Boy, which was really just a early version of what Dark Duel Stories for the Game Boy Color would be. It was just so funny how simple and hard the game was. I think the biggest ones for me is playing Sacred Cards and Reshef of Destruction. Sacred Cards I actually finished when I was a teenager, but Reshef of Destruction, I never finished that one. I never even knew it existed, really. So, I mean, but then getting to also play Eternal Duelist Soul, which was probably my simulator for how I learned how to play the card game as well as I did. This one was a GameStop find. Here everything here has been converted back to EV Games, which is GameStop had taken over a lot of their locations, because obviously the infrastructure was basically the same. The buildings were the same, so it was a really easy thing for them to do. But then some guy said, we're bringing back GameStop, and he didn't even wait. He didn't wait for a yes and no or nothing. He just said, we are doing this, and then he went and did it. And actually, I like going to GameStop again. EB Games, pardon me. So the next one up is another EB Games find, and that is Fire Emblem Warriors. This is a report of the Nintendo 3DS game. But you know, there's a newer one that was made that kind of takes like the three houses part of things, but like I love like the Warriors games, like Hyrule Warriors, Fire Emblem Warriors, Dynasty Warriors, Gundam Dynasty Warriors. Like those are they are the modern day beat 'em up, and they are so fun. It's just so great to tear through crowds of people. You know, they want to do you harm, and you're like, I don't goddamn think so. Next up, and I mean, this one seems a little controversial to some people, but I just don't feel that way. Star Fox, it's the weirdest game. So you know, we all know that Skyrim has been remade 1,000 times, but Star Fox is the weirdest type of remake ever because every version of it, short of Star Fox 2, Star Fox Assault, and Star Fox Adventures, has been a remake of the original. Oh, and Star Fox Guard, which is a tower defense game. So Star Fox 60, it's like Star Fox, like Super Nintendo, Star Fox 64, Star Fox Zero, they are all the same game with different graphics. And I think that's really funny because each one plays so differently and there's a lot of fun. Like, because like the N64 one gave you the branching paths. Saving the game is still a pain in the ass. This one is a little more modernized that way, so like you can save. We may actually do one of the playthroughs on with you guys. They're not very long individually. The game actually has replay value, so you can play the first path, which is I think it takes you through the far right path of the game, and then it'll let you have some choice between them depending how you play. Next up, that one I believe was another Best Buy purchase. Like we use Best Buy because if you can put an order through before they open, they will put aside a brand new game for you without you having to go through the rigmarole of prepaying for a pre-order. All right. Next up is the Nintendo Switch version of Digimon Time Stranger. We actually have been streaming the PS5 version. I'm kind of slowly shifting away from Sony. It's going to take some time because I was invested in them. I loved my PlayStation. I love my PS5. But this is cool because I mean it's kind of like I don't have any new Pokemon games to play, so getting to play Digimon is like playing a Pokemon game. It's Pokemon and Final Fantasy together. It feels like they're very much a fusing of the two worlds. But obviously the creatures are badass. Like Metal Greymon, I remember when Digimon had to replace Pokemon because they ran out of Pokemon episodes to air. So they said, okay, let's play this instead. And I'm like, this is just as good. Play them both. So yeah, playing this one, and it's kind of fun to go through some of it again. And I think it plays a little bit better than the Cyber Sleuth and Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory series. Like, I think it plays better than them a little bit. I mean, and Next Order is a completely different type of game. So that's a PS, what would you call it? That's closer to the original game, like the very original Digimon world, right? So I mean, it's exciting, and the customization of your team is probably where this one's gonna get me the most. That was an Amazon find. I did. Now you're gonna be like, well, there's a Switch 2 version. Why don't you just get that? The Switch 2 version is a game key card. Anytime I can avoid buying those, I will avoid buying those. Next up, back to some GameStop magic. We got Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. Now, see, I'm playing this on Xbox, so I feel like I'm kind of cheating a little because I never play Xbox with a headset on. I'm just probably not gonna do that. But like, it's interesting. I like Saber Interactive. I like a lot of the stuff they do, and I think it's so cool that they got the IP for this. And yeah, it's just an untold story. Untold story. All right, untold story. Fuck's sakes. I feel like this kind of puts it might put Alien Isolation to shame. I have only watched a little bit of the gameplay, but like it's a little different when you're actually playing it. So these next two are Amazon finds, but this one caught my eye because I used it to test another person's console after I did some work on it, and it was the the benchmark game, as it were, and it was I'd heard so much about it, and I was like, what? Why is this such a big deal? The feel of the game and the opening incident, and just the way the game starts, and the stealth. Like, there's a little bit of a stealth element to it as well. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed what I played of this, and that is Crimson Desert, and I'm hearing like rave tales about it. But this is again part of my journey to stay physical on my games, because I don't want digital licensing wherever possible. I'm actually like not sure, like if I didn't have to have Game Pass on some level to play online, I probably wouldn't have it. Next up is Silent Hill F. Heard a lot about it. Yes, it's on PlayStation, but all my Silent Hill games are on PlayStation. It would feel like a travesty to play them on anything else.
I had my phone going off.
Email. Go away. It wasn't actually email. It was just like a Instagram generic email that I probably should shut off at some point. Anyways, so that's our pile. That's our pile. We got more coming. We're going to do more because we're going to start slowly shifting our PS Vita collection into physical. We want to get cases for some of the games we don't have cases for, because I have actually a few games, but I don't have their cases. I have like Assassin's Creed Liberation and what's the other one? I have Dungeon Hunter, which is basically a Diablo clone. I have those, but I don't have cases for them, so I want to try and find their cases. Anyways, so that kind of concludes our gaming pickup video. Jesus. I'm just yawning like crazy. It is like 1:30 in the morning. That concludes our gaming pickup video. So this was a fun one, and I'm glad we actually got to spend some time doing a little more of the like in between talking. Sometimes I rush through these, and I'm realizing that I would like to have some fun with these videos and actually talk with you guys while I do them. We may even do some of them live in the future, so you can kind of like, hey, what's going on? We can talk with our base, right? But we'll see. Anyways, so that concludes this video. Thanks for checking it out, guys. You can find me over on Twitch, Pydera_74. Here on YouTube, we're Pydera Space 74. That's the difference. A couple different ways you can support the channel. There is our partnership with Dubby.gg. They are an energy drink company. You can get energy drinks from them in the form it's like powder tubs, and you can mix them yourself and stuff. Great boost, no jitters, can't complain. Really good roster of flavors, as well as they do some swag like hats, sweaters, tumblers, and stuff like that. I have their water bottle. My anime waifu. That's my wife. Water bottle. And then they also have, if you use creator code Pydera74, one word, you get a 20% discount, and I get 10% cut of the order. So everybody wins when we do that one. Next up, of course, is our eBay page, which is ebay.ca/SVRetroTech. We often post like games, collectibles, just little things that they're not going to have some huge shipping cost. It's mainly for us, but in the future we occasionally deal in consoles and phones and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for that stuff, and maybe you'll see something you like. Right now the page is under. We're reviewing our process for how we add stuff to it. So if you don't see anything on there, just keep checking, because eventually there will be. Our last way that you can support the channel, of course, is the most direct way, and that is using the Streamlabs tipping link in our YouTube bio. That goes straight to us, and if we do see you guys using that, we're going to make sure that you get a shout out and a say in some future content. Thanks for checking out the stream space. I'm Pydera, and I will catch you guys on the next one.